Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. Before I do any of that, though, I want to thank all my new and my old subscribers. I just in the last few days gone over 700 on my subscribers. Thank you so much. And I also wanted to, forgot to grab it, thank all those out there who have ordered and or going to order my book, Bizarre Brain Comics Anthology, $7.99 on Amazon. Fun. And I'm working on assembling the stuff for Volume 2. So this time, what we're going to look at is if my shirt wasn't enough of a teaser, some Star Trek. You say, we just did some Star Trek. Yes, this is going to be the last Star Trek for a while. Gold Key, Star Trek. Back, of course, Gold Key Comics had the license for Star Trek from, what was it, 66 to 79. And they had a lot of issues over that time period. And about 76, they started reprinting them in this large album format. And look at this, $1.95, and it has contents of issues 1 through 8 for $2. Wow, that's hard to imagine. Okay. And so this starts with well, they did a whole bunch of these, and I don't know the how many they eventually produced, and I wound up having 2 copies of this volume 1. And then about 2008 or so, another publisher started reprinting all of the classic Gold Key Star Trek comics, which so they're not the same as these as I thought. I thought they were reprints of these volumes, but they're not. And I have some of those as well. This is from Seccara Publishing, and then the design is different and stuff, and the stories don't correspond one for one for what's in these, so it's not a direct reprint of these volumes, but it's more or less a reprint. See, in these, when Gold Key did these, they added a few things, had a few extra pages produced, which refer like some of the Star Trek world universe history, a little bit of biographical information on some of the characters, like Captain Kirk and such. They had some history, like a later one has some pseudo history from Sputnik to Warp Drive. Of course, none of that's canon, and it doesn't fit anyway. But here, this begins with the first 2 issues, of course, which were drawn by Nevio, Seccara, and then taken over the art chores, and I'm not sure I don't know who did the writing on these. These, it's one thing that's different. These Checker books has creator credits when they know, like in the earliest ones, they don't list writer's credits. It's probably because they don't really know who the writer was. But some of the laters do, like, this has Alberto Giolitti's great art, because he did Star Trek for several years. But initially, so you can see his work, and they were both Italian artists. Nevio Seccara, think he was Italian. Nevio, Seccara, and Alberto Giolitti. And of course, Alberto Giolitti, he had at various times a variety of assistants helping him, mostly primarily with the inking chores. And sometimes you can see the difference in the inking on the work. Now, they're both longtime artists for Gold Key on various things. Now, initially, of course, Star Trek was a quarterly title, so there weren't as many issues per year. And then went to bi-monthly around 1970 or 71 or so, I think it was. And then in the later 70s became monthly. But by then, they were throwing in a lot of reprint books from earlier printings. And remember, Alberto Giolitti did a lot of stuff at Gold Key. He, of course, Star Trek is probably what he's best known for. That and Turoxen of Stone. He did a whole bunch of things that were, especially TV tie-in or movie tie-in stuff, because he was so good at the naturalistic stuff. He did A Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea and the like. So there, I have 2 copies of Volume 1 of that. Then, as I said, Volume 2 from Checker, and it's produced, and they have, let's see, table of contents and a little bit more info, but they don't have the extra material that had, and it looks like it was reproduced from photographs directly from the published art, which is great. So it looks just like an old the old comic book, except for the heavier stock, glossy stock paper. And this covers 9 stories. And another good thing these volumes covered was it also reproduced the cover paintings, which were done primarily by George Wilson. So had those great cover paintings. The first 10 issues of Gold Key's Star Trek were photo covers. Then they went to to the paintings for the run with a photo inset, and then just the last 6 or 7, I think it was, were line drawing covers with photo inset rather than the painted cover. And here we have Volume 3 of the old Gold Key book, and then for comparison, I have Volume 3 of the Checker reprint. And this is where I really discovered that it's not one for one, because while they cover basically the same stories, they don't completely line up. I think they both, like this one says the Cosmic Cavemen. Well, I think they both have like the Cosmic Cavemen, but they're not in the same spot, because I think this form, Checker form, has more stories than this one does. And that was Volume 3, and then I go Volume 4 of the Gold Key. And you can see of course, these are all photo stuff. And I imagine I have never seen these when I was younger. I never saw these new anywhere. So I suspect they were going to the bookstores and such like, and may have been good magazine racks or something. I don't know. There we go. That was Volume 4. And then we rounded the whole thing out with Volume 5 of the Checker. And this is stuff that this is later stuff that I haven't read. And remember, a lot of those were reprints, so they're leaving out all the reprint stuff. So that's all I've got for you this time. I hope you enjoyed it. Woo! a little look at some classic Gold Key Star Trek. Thanks for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment. Do you have any either sets of these? Let me know. What do you think of them? Do you like them? Do you don't like them? Are you a Star Trek fan? Share with your other Star Trek friends. All that good stuff. And remember, comics. I don't have any art. Comics are art.